Hello, everyone. It's December the 3rd, Monday, December the 3rd. What I want to do today is make sure you understand a couple of things as we get into our struggle. Number one, remember, when you hear the word progressive, what they make you believe is progressive just means they're going to be more advanced, just better, progressive, better. That's not what it means. It may mean to some that don't know any better, but the progressives are out to change our form of government. You got to understand that. That's what a progressive movement's all about. Change, knock out our constitutional representative form of government. Get rid of it and put in this new quasi-social, communist, whatever you want to call it. It's technically like a 16th century type government. And it's why all of these politicians are jockeying because they want to be there when this thing changes over. And I'm talking about Republicans too. When this thing changes over, the country's going to be run by a person who we will identify like a king. And then there will be this committee. Now, folks, these politicians know if you make it to the committee, they got the rest of their lives made. Progressive. Progressive means they want to change our form of government. Do not forget that when you hear it. Do not forget it. Another thing, when you hear that they are going after Trump, going after President Trump, pulling out every stop, everything along the way, let me tell you in political speak what that means. It's not Trump they're after. It's us they're after. They don't want us to have any say in our government. None. Now, when you know those two things, at least you've got the ground underneath you solid. But there's one other thing that we will drive home and use. Every politician in Washington, every one of them, care about one thing, one. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump, I'm talking about the rest. They all care about one thing and one thing only, their job. Their job. When you rattle their cage and make them think that they may lose their job, they become extremely pliable. They will at that point unwillingly do what we need done. So with that in mind, I want you all to get ready. We're going to do a letter to President Trump. We're working on it. We've got it written, but it's 3 pages long. We've got to condense it. That means I've got to drop some stuff out of it, which I'm trying to think up and do. But the other thing we're going to do is in December, when the Democrats take control of the House, we're going to have a group of people ready. And this group of people that are ready, they're going to, excuse the noise, y'all, the people that are ready, we're going to start putting pressure on them that they're going to lose their job. We're going to make them lose it. And you're saying, well, how can we do that? Trust me. Anybody that's been around me for a year or two knows it does work, and it has worked over and over. And we will use force multiplication to make it work. And with that, we can get control of these people in time to save President Trump. And that's what our mission is. That's what we're going to do. If we don't save him, folks, remember, what is Donald Trump? Donald Trump's us. If we don't save him, we don't save us. So are you willing, at this point, are you willing to engage and fight. Fight for what is rightfully ours and what is ours that we've had for over 200 years. Now remember, when the Democrats take control of the House in January, you can put this in the bank. They will start moving post-hastily. They will move at breakneck speed to impeach President Trump. We have got to be ready to stop it and fight it. Are you there? Are you out there? Some of the things I'm going to tell you on the next coming program, and actually in the next couple of programs, the things I'm going to be telling you, it's going to be kind of hard to believe, but it is true. And we're going to have to do it. Nobody's going to do it for us. Y'all have to excuse my wonder dog. She's fired up. We're also going to try to have, somehow, I don't know how, don't even know if it can be done, but I'm going to try to get us on a call where all of you can call in and ask questions if you have any. Folks, this is our country. And never forget, when you think you can't do something, when you think there is nothing you can do, fight to save it. That's when you need to fight harder. That's when you're wrong. Everyone listening to me right now can help save this country. But everyone listening to me right now, if you don't lift a finger to do something, if you don't help us with the phone calls, if you don't help us in growing an army sufficient enough to make some noise, serious noise, if you don't do that, remember, you are doing something. Doing nothing is doing something. And that something you're doing by not engaging is helping what I call the enemy. The enemy. And there's another battle going on to our southern border. Most of you know about the caravan and all that's going on there. Let me tell you, the progressives have got it worked out to where if they can get 10 to 20 of those people into this country, they've already got the mechanism set up to bring in tens of thousands. Tens of thousands. They know our border security, our border guards, they know they're overworked, overdone. They know that the judicial process that they have to go through, they know that it's overloaded. And they're going to use it. Why? Well, it's simple. You see, the progressives believe that if they can get enough of these illegals over here, in here, with the Democrats in control of the House and with the Republicans in control of the Senate, but remember, 5 or so of the Republicans in the Senate, you and I would have a hard time identifying them as quote-unquote conservative Republicans. They're not. They believe if they can get them in here, that they can do it one of two ways, through our Congress, which would take time, or do what they've been doing for the past few years. Get a judge, get a federal judge, some liberal federal judge, to make it to where they can vote. And when they vote, we're done. Do you hear me? We're done. When they vote, we're done. Now, I ask you, is this country worth saving anymore? Have we gone so far down that maybe we're not worth save him. As for me, I know we've gone down. But not to the point we can't save it, and not to the point where we're not supposed to save it. And guys, I've asked you to help me. We're going to have to come up with a way to intercede to block that impeachment. We're going to have to. Now, it's already illegal. Mueller does not have a blank check to just investigate anything and everything of Trump like he's been doing. He had a specific crime to check out, and that's all he was allowed to check out. But he has drifted way asunder from that. So what gets you is, where is anybody calling him to task on it? He should be forced to shut down now. And all of these esoterical pleas that he's getting from all these people around Trump that happened before Trump was even running for president or whatever, all of that stuff should not be allowed. Because it's outside the purview that Mueller's granted and given. Now, I want to go one last thing. I hear people going crazy over the FISA charges or complaints, and want it made public. Let me tell you something, guys. Those FISA warrants, once they're made public, it's going to disappoint you. You hear me? It's going to disappoint you. Because what you're going to see inside that FISA warrant is that, guess what? They did use the Steele dossier as the primary reason for the warrant. They did use the Steele dossier as the primary thing. Now, as you know, all the bad guys say they didn't, but they did. And there's proof of that. But we already know that. We already know that, so just to see it's not going to make a lot of difference since everybody knows it, certainly the people that are in positions to investigate it. And the other thing you'll find when you get to opening up the FISA warrants, you're going to find who all signed it. But generally speaking, to my knowledge, we already know who that is. So don't buy into that. Don't buy into it. They would love for us to just get all of our people hoovered up, thinking that the world would change if you can just get the FISA warrants opened up to the public. It won't. But they'll use it to occupy us and keep us busy. There's so much I want to tell you. There's so much we got to do. But I think I've given you about as much today as I should. I do want to add, as far as the money coming in, it's not much. Everybody that can hear my voice, if you have PayPal, please send $2. You know, if everybody sent $2, we have enough money to do the things we need to do to get this thing going. Send $2, $5, $10. Don't think just because you can't send $1 million that you're not helping and it's not appreciated. Send it. Send what you can. I have to have your help. I can't do this any longer. Everybody else, every person I've ever worked with, they all raise money. I guess it's just where I've been stupid. I didn't. But I'm doing it now. My PayPal is nicholslive@aol.com. nicholslive@aol.com. Let's see how many people there are that are willing to put skin in the game with a $2, $5. I need somebody with a 500 one, but that's a stretch. Please help me. We've got very few days now until the Democrats take control of the House. And we had better be ready. And I intend for you, me, us, I intend for us to be ready. I'll show you how in the next recording. Thank you.